They've heard about this building. There's been a lot of great Soviet-Canadian games played in this building, and they're a part of it here tonight, and they're excited.
For Team Canada, the starting lineup. Browning with Miller and McLaren up front. Game 4 in the series. The Soviets lead the series 2-1. Team Canada winning its first game on Thursday night. Soviets in across the line. This is Pryakin. Pryakin gets it back for Boldine, and Boldine has trouble controlling it inside the Canadian line. Canada running offside at the Soviet line. And we've got a microphone once more on Dave King, so we'll be able to listen in on some of his conversations at that Team Canada bench.
Well, he's certainly been pleased with the performance of his hockey club up until now. Going into this series, they didn't know whether or not they were going to get blown out in hockey games, but they've hung in there. They've played very well the last game, and they're looking to win this one here tonight to tie this series up.
Clarkie and Chris.
And Igor Dmitriev is the head coach of the Moscow Selects.
Jumping now, guys. Come on now. Let's the talk out there.
He's in there somewhere. There he is.
Guys, communicate. The winner's high and this chip again.
Very friendly guy. His English is exceptional. And we're able to chat with him quite a bit during the series. Soviets to the Canadian line and across. That's Raymond. Out to bat it away. Newell Brown sends Duras for Canada away. Duras couldn't get away from 2 Soviet checkers. It is into the Soviet zone where the Selects control. And a long pass on the left wing for Samiliev failed to materialize. So for Canada, Benning starts up. Benning tried to get it ahead for Newell Brown. It was just across the line. So the faceoff will be just outside the Team Canada blue line.
Well, Dave King, talking to him at the start of the hockey game, he thought the Soviets might come out very, very aggressive, try to forecheck the Canadian team and put a lot of pressure on them. He reminded his guys again to stress the defensive part of the game and maybe take that part of their game away from them until they get the feel of the game itself.
Varyanov at center with Skurjuk and Farutinov for the Soviets. This is Varyanov, number 20. Or Farutinov, number 20, rather, to Varyanov, number 12. Now over on the left side. Soviets go in. Popikin, number 6, takes the shot. Backhand, weak, and handled easily by Alain Raymond.
Well, from talking to John Kemp today, who rooms with Alain Raymond, he said he's a very, very nervous guy. He couldn't sleep this afternoon.
I heard that.
His family's here watching, and it's the first time he's actually played, I guess, in front of his hometown people for Canada, so let's hope he has a good game.
He did play here for the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League All-Stars a couple of years ago, but that was an all-star game, and
good job in the draw. Good
not
job.
An international hockey match.
Speed, thanks.
Starting out for Canada, this is Fabian Joseph, number 8. Joseph tried to get it ahead for Herkus, and Boulian, number 12, was offside at the Soviet line. Fabian Joseph, native of Sydney, Nova Scotia, played with the Toronto Marlboros, Victoria Cougars.
He just turned 20 the other day, just a young guy, and he had 4 brothers up from Sydney watching him in Hamilton the other night win that hockey game.
You jump quick, the guy passed the puck behind you. Remember there? Face up, you jump, he passed it behind you.
For Canada, it is Herkus with Joseph and Boulian, and the face-off just outside the Moscow Selects line. Scoreless in the first period. 18 minutes, 26 seconds to play.
Yeah, you bet. Stop and face him. Trent and Jerome are going.
Team Canada on the attack now. This is Joseph to the line and across. Herkus can't keep it in, but it's kept in by Cavallini for Team Canada. Back for Cavallini, and the pass intercepted as the Soviets start back. Led this time by Koshevnikov. Now Herkus picks up a loose puck just inside the Team Canada line for the Soviet line.
Back him up.
Cavallini pinches in to keep it in for Canada. Fed into the slot. No one was there. Joseph couldn't come up with it for the Canadians.
That's icing. No. Okay.
Not icing. Not called that time.
Get her deep, Cart. That a boy.
First shot on Tisnich.
Flip your lines going, Flippy. Flip these lines up. That a boy, catcher. Start.
Step up for the Soviets. Pass ahead for Boldine. Boldine can't control it in the neutral zone. And it's back in across the Soviet line. Dave King was talking about playing a little more defensive style in the early going of this hockey game. He suggested he might try that for 10 minutes.
Well, you hear him in the background yelling the 1-2-2 formation, and that means 1 forechecker in, 2 guys back, and 2 defensemen back. So they're thinking defense.
Shot right on, and Raymond made the save. Had the angle. Face-off will be in the Canadian zone to the left of Alain Raymond. Nemchinov, the Soviet center, takes it and scores right from the face-off. Nemchinov gives the Soviets a 1-0 lead. He won the draw,
well, here's
and then followed right in.
After the face-off, the centerman is supposed to take the centerman out to play. You look at Duras there. He let his man get in behind him.
Come on now.
Here it is again. He goes for the puck. They're taking the body out. Good, quick, high shot.
The man with speed.
Nemchinov right from the face-off has given the Moscow Selects a 1-0 lead on Team Canada. Chance for Canada. Perry Proff just missing an open net as Tisnich was caught out of position. It's back to the line. And Yanni can't keep it in. Here's a chance for the Soviets going in. Kareen, number 15, Kareen going in. And Raymond made the save. A big save for Raymond at that point in the hockey game. No question about it. We have talked at length about how quickly the Soviets can score.
Clark in Sayers.
Perudnov, number 20. And there's a penalty coming up to Team Canada. Ronning looks like he's going off.
I can go for Benny.
It is 1-0. The Moscow Selects leading Team Canada 16 minutes, 10 seconds to play in period 1.
Both Max, babe.
He gets his stick underneath the Soviet arm here and just pulls him down.
So we watch the Soviet power play at work. The Soviets have been good on 1 of 7 power play opportunities. It hasn't been that effective. 14.3% efficiency rating for the Soviets.
Team Canada penalty killing has been excellent. They've been really forcing the Soviets to make some bad passes at all ends of the ice, and very impressive with their penalty killing.
This is Kanarekin for the Soviets. Ahead in the central ice area for Perudnov. Perudnov has it taken away by McLaren. McLaren gets it back into the Soviet zone.
Good job, babe. Way to work, kid. Got a wide man, Newly.
Baryanov, number 12 for the Soviets. Clears it into the Team Canada zone. Canada quick to retaliate and gain control again. It's cleared back down into Soviet territory. 1 minute left in the Soviet power play.
Easy. Get out. Wide man with speed.
Kanarekin gets it over on the right side for Pryakin.
And Canada standing up on the blue line, not giving the Soviets time to get inside to set up their formations.
Chance for the Soviets, fired just wide. That time by Boldine, number 14.
Trent. Jerome.
This is Pryakin. Back to the line. Zubkov working in number 7. Zubkov works around behind the Canadian goal. Clears it right out in front for Boldine. Boldine has a man open. Back for Pryakin.
Backside, Peter. Beside him.
Over the open point man. This is Babinov. Babinov in for Pryakin. Now Babinov controls once more for the Soviets.
Peter, side.
Out in front. Pryakin couldn't come up with it. Held along the boards. That's Serge Roy working against Pryakin. This is Boldine. Boldine back to the point. Zubkov. Zubkov fires it off the side of the net. Team Canada back at full strength by the side. So the Canadians have weathered the storm on another Soviet power play. Boulian falls as he crosses the line. Pryakin starts back for the Moscow Selects. 1-0 the Selects leading Team Canada. 13:46 to play in the first period. Backhand is weak and handled by Raymond.
Clarky and Denny.
This is Carrier. Carrier ahead to Herkus to Boulian.
Cliff your line.
Trengiani for Carrier. Carrier overskated it, but it comes to the line and Canada starts out. Herkus with Fabian Joseph. In for Joseph, just offside at the Soviet line.
Babe, you got Carpenter.
Well, there's Cliff Ronning. He's the leading scorer so far in this series with 6 points, 2 goals and 4 assists. And that whole line of Ronning, Miller, and McLaren have done most of the scoring for Team Canada.
In fact, they're the top 3 scorers in the series so far. Smilyaev of the Soviets also has 4 points. That would tie him for 3rd spot.
Right, man!
Soviets in the central ice area. This is Koshevnikas to the line. Now McLaren starts back for Canada. He's all alone, gets the shot. Tisnich handled it easily. The rebound picked up by Popikin.
Benny, wide man!
This is Ronning, number 27.
Not just the puck side.
Soviets keep it in. Antipov feeds it over and just fired wide. Koshevnikov missing.
Benny's in trouble, eh? You're having trouble. Tough on it, Benny!
Antipov. Soviets keep it in. That's Khrushchev. And this is Antipov, number 10, for the Moscow Selects once more. Has an open man. Kryuchkov. Vasiliev into the corner after it, working against Brian Benning. Benning backhands it off the boards.
Hard chip.
Back to Benning.
Get it out.
And finally, Canada gets it out. This is Mike
Benny,
Miller.
Change it up.
Miller down the right side with McLaren. Shot right on. He's got a great shot.
Wide man. Jesus, get off.
Chris Felix.
Now, Benny, let's get into it out there. Too many mistakes in that shit. Come on now. Play better than that, kid. Get assertive.
Cavallini dumps it in. Mr. Benning didn't have a good shift if you listen to the coach, did he? Soviets on the attack once more. This is Kareen to the Canadian line.
Break for him. Get open.
Pass just too far for Proft. After it, Von Karpen, 19 for Canada. Kareen comes up for it. Comes up with it for the Soviets. Canadian line working in, back to the points, and no one was there for the Moscow Selects. 1-0, Moscow leading Team Canada. We're in period 1 at the Forum in Montreal, game 4. Von Karpen tries for Canada. Ahead for Proft. Proft got it in and through. He is hauled down. Penalty coming after the Soviet Union. So we get a chance to see the Team Canada power play at work.
And that's been a pretty good power play so far. Canada scored 3 of 7 chances. That's 42% efficiency. So maybe they can get back in the hockey game. They really haven't had a good scoring chance up to this part of the hockey game, but
not solid chances at all, Darryl. Most of the play has been in the Canadian zone, although defensively Canada has played quite well. If you look back to the goal, it really happened as miscue right after the face-off. The Soviets didn't control it for a long time in the Canadian zone. It was the face-off. And Nemchinov took the face-off and went in and beat Alain Raymond for the only score of the hockey game so far.
Well, the big line out there again of Ronning, McLaren, and Miller. They were the talk the other night, getting 3 goals in the last period of the hockey game.
This is Serge Roy. Can't keep it in. The Soviets start out led by Skurjuk. This is Skurjuk, number 17, working around the defense. The save by Raymond. Loose puck behind the net. Picked up by Ronning, or rather by Chris Felix, number 23. This is McLaren. Ronning couldn't control it. Skurjuk after it. Roy beats him to the puck. Across the Canadian line for Ronning. Ronning for Felix. And ahead for Miller.
Up the wide lane.
Mike Miller has to turn around.
2 on it.
Now has an open man. Here's Ronning going in.
Keep it moving now.
Back to the line for Roy.
Straight down. There's the overplay for the
In for McLaren. McLaren got it out front. Miller was there. Tisnich played it well.
Trenton Benny. Tony's line.
1 minute, 2 seconds left in the power play. Here's Felix for Miller.
Hard. 2 on the puck. Take away the boards.
Back to the line. Benning. For Ronning. McLaren. Man out in front. It's Miller. Miller got it out in front. The Soviets dump it all the way down. Boldin slapping at it. And Benning goes back.
No problem.
Canada has to be a little more aggressive in their passing. They're make those crisp passes. They're kind of passing tentatively now, and the guy that's receiving the pass isn't getting time to get a hold of it and make a play with it.
This is Yanni for Benning. At the Soviet line, Herkes gets it across. And after it, Joseph. Soviet captain Katarekin in there, number 2. Priyakin, number 11. Canada's still on the power play. Benning in for Herkes. Perkis once more. Soviets back to full strength. Canada keeps it in, but not long. Soviets quick to the attack. Pryakin takes the shot off his skate. It's back for Pryakin. Benning gives him a ride along the boards. Bullian. And he cleared it all the way down. 9 minutes left in the opening period. Soviets leading 1-0. Game 4. The Team Canada Moscow Select Series. Selects winning games 1 and 2. Team Canada winning in Hamilton on Saturday night.
On the break, if you take one way and come out the other side, no problem.
Chance for the Soviets out in front. There's Vasiliev. Vasiliev was pushed away by Clark. Clark played it well after Vasiliev had all kinds of net to work with, but Clark moved up on him. Newell Brown for Greenlaw. This is Jeff Greenlaw, number 15. Vasiliev has it now for the Soviets. Doug Clark just dumping it in for Team Canada. Koshevnikov, 16, plays it to the right wing. This is Popikin around behind the goal, trying to set it up. Back to the line, fired by Babinov. He is wide. Vasiliev can't come up with it. Out in front. And Raymond goes down on it. It was a Soviet standing right by the side of the open net.
We'll settle down, no problem. We're doing fine. We're doing 7.5, 8 miles. 8 miles now. More direct attack.
Shots on goal for the Moscow Select. 7 for Team Canada. 3. There's the story of the hockey game on the scoreboard. 1-0. Face-off in the Canadian zone. This is Joseph. Ahead for Karpin. It slides all the way down.
Put your line.
Kept in by Perry Proff for Canada. This is Zubkov, number 7 for the Soviets.
Respect the speed. Respect the speed. Play it up. Play it up.
Samiliev has a man open. That's Zubkov. Zubkov trying to work around Proff. Cleared it out in front. Team Canada had it well covered out in front of goaltender Alain Raymond.
Team Canada really hasn't had any flow to this game. There's been a few whistles, and there's an old fellow I played against for a while there, Babinov. He's got a few scars on his face. 30 years old. He was back in the Canada Cup 76 and played against him, so he's been around for a while.
I suppose 76, that Canada Cup, is your most memorable international experience, Errol?
Oh, by far, it certainly was.
Soviets controlling in the Canadian zone. Skurjuk, 17, still with the puck. This is Rudnov, number 20, ridden out by Yanni. Now Skurjuk takes another turn.
Check, top.
Skurjuk still has it for Rudnov now. Ronning took it away from him, and Felix is able to clear it ahead to Miller on the right side. Miller to Ronning. Ronning is quick. McLaren in behind. McLaren, Ronning, and Miller, the big line for Team Canada, loose. And the Soviets claim it quickly. For Rudnov. Check from behind by McLaren. Soviets control in the Canadian zone. This is Skurjuk behind the net. Rudnov out in front at the point. Vozikov, and he couldn't keep it in. Tight coverage by Ronning. Stepa for the Soviets. Bullian can't come up with it for Canada.
They got 6 on the ice. 6 on the ice. 6. No, 6 white. 6 white.
Dave King counted 6. I could hear him in the background, Darrell.
Yeah, but I think there might have been 6 Canadian players. When I looked over, there was 1 Canadian still going to the bench.
Time will be 14:03.
Somebody's got a penalty.
Players on the ice.
I think it might be Canada.
It's definitely a Canadian penalty. Time will be 14:03. Will be served by Jeff Greenlaw.
Greenlaw is going to the box.
So it backfired on Dave King.
Listen now, you listen carefully.
I don't know what call.
He was yelling 6 white. I heard him distinctly. Maybe that was just to throw Yuri Karandin, the Soviet referee,
Probably
off the target. So another Soviet power play. They're 1 for 8 in goals in the power play so far.
Mac, Carp. Mac and Carp. Trent. Clarkey. Here we go.
Canada aggressively checking the Soviets while a man short. Now Boldine starts back for the Moscow Selects. Boldine tried to take a return pass. He did and fired it just wide. Raymond got over to block part of the net. It was Boldine taking the shot wide. Kryuchkov, number 9, takes the shot. Blocked out front. Comes to Kryuchkov again, and it's cleared by Newell Brown. Soviets. Popikin, number 6, starts it out. This is Pryakin. And now Koshevnikov. Adipov for the Soviets at center ice. Vasiliev into the corner after it. Yanni is in shadowing him. So is Chris Felix around behind the net. Soviets on the power play.
Control, Carp. Come out under control.
Vasiliev along the boards. Got it for Koshevnikov. Back to the line for Babinov. This is Koshevnikov over the open point. Shot fired well wide. Hard drive. Felix got it to the line and across. Babinov couldn't keep it in.
Peter.
One thing the Soviets like to do when they get in the offensive zone
is McLaren.
They like to do when they get in the offensive zone is feed the point men and then have 2 guys going for the net for either a tip in or a screen shot.
Adipov drops it back for Zubkov. Back to the line. Koshevnikov over the open man at the point. That's Babinov. Clark in along the boards for Team Canada, trying to hold it there. Now it comes free. Vasiliev moves in, and Clark comes away with it from 2 Soviets. McLaren ahead for Greenlaw. This is Newell Brown.
Tony's line is up now. Herkus's line is up.
Canada back to full strength.
Tony, your line.
So Team Canada has weathered another Soviet power play. Down the left wing this time. Nemchinov cleared it out in front. Defensively, Team Canada very sound in front of its own goal. Herkus working along the boards, couldn't get to it. A pass for Greenlaw goes too far.
Called you in. Benny has called you.
One of the strategies Team Canada tries to use in their own end zone is man-on-man coverage. And you mustn't break down one-on-one. If you have a check, you stick with that fellow all over the ice in that end zone.
Rofty and Kirk, newly at center. Rofty and Kirk, newly at center.
Boulian couldn't take a pass. Herkus couldn't keep it in the Soviet zone.
Checked up. Behind.
Soviets have crossed the Canadian line. Samiliev, 19. Varianov going after it, number 12, but Canada comes up with the puck in its own zone. Boulian couldn't get it. This is Varudinov to the Canadian line and across. Took a check from Herkus. Still Varudinov working with it along the boards. Varianov now. Varianov falls. Soviets look like they've got a power play going out there right now.
Gain the zone. Heavy stick on that loose puck. Backside. Cart, dribble.
Varudinov. Varianov now for the Soviets. And Varudinov takes another crack at it. Herkus. And Proft in working against him. This is Benning along the board. Soviets come up with it once more. Cleared out in front. And the Soviets couldn't get a decent shot away. Herkus, center ice for Canada. Lost it there to Kryuchkov.
Chris Line's going next. Chris Line's going next.
1 minute 39 seconds left in the opening period. Soviets, the Moscow Selects leading Team Canada 1-0. Another chance for the Soviets working right out in front. That's Boldine, and he fired it just wide. Igor Boldine.
Check top, check top.
Zubkov.
Drop man.
Over on the left side for Pryakin. Pryakin Taken out by Felix. The save had to be made, however, by Alain Raymond, who was in behind Chris Felix at the Team Canada defense. The Soviets lead it 1-0. 1:12 to play in period one.
Come on, Red. Let's go. If we lose the draw, get a good jump. If we gain the draw, be assertive and get to the breakout quickly, okay? But again now, lots of talk in our zone. Let's just clear our zone. We're in business, okay, guys? No problem at all. We're reading this hockey game. We're looking real good. All right, gang?
If he wins it clean, I'm just going to fire it.
Okay? Let's go, gang. Out you go. Do a job for us. Let's go.
Timeout at the Team Canada bench.
Yeah, I see it now. I found it. Okay.
We were going to put a microphone on Igor Dmitriev as well. But your Russian wasn't up to translating, Gerald.
Aggie Kupowicz up here to help us out.
Into the final minute 12, actually speaking. In period one, the Soviets leading Team Canada 1-0. The goal by Nemchinov.
Coming through!
Zubkov takes the shot well wide of the target. This is McLaren. McLaren tried to feed it ahead for Miller. It goes all the way to the goaltender, Tiznich. And he covers up. There'll be a face-off in the Moscow select zone.
Serge!
Well, the
Sergio,
Soviets
you go inside.
had puck control for most of this period. Canada's only had 3 shots on goal, and very weak shots, really. But even though the Soviets had the majority of the puck control, they didn't have that many good scoring opportunities. Canada's been playing a fairly disciplined system in their own end, not giving the Soviets those great scoring chances.
I think what's interesting is Dave King was saying he wanted to play a defensive style for a little while. He opened things up in Hamilton and had good results in Game 3 on Saturday night, but he didn't want to let the Soviets get any kind of a lead on him in this game tonight. It is 1-0, however, for the Moscow Selects as we have it right now. 47 seconds to play in the period. And Raymond was a little surprised by that shot.
Well, there's a quick shot from a bad angle. The Soviets throwing the puck in off the end boards. Would be an icing play had Team Canada touched it. But a bouncing puck, too, which makes it more difficult for a goalie to read because you know where that puck's going to go.
Raymond played for Team Canada in Game 1 of this series. That was a 4-3 victory for the Soviets.
Feeler, ready to go. Feeler, Clarkie.
Look on him as he is a quick and poised young goaltender, age 20. Played with Three Rivers of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, where he achieved all-star status in that league.
Tony, your line. Tony, your line.
Duras for Canada. Got it back for Yanni. Duras takes a return pass now. This is Newell Brown, Canadian team captain. Ahead for Von Karpen. Karpen just about poked it around the Soviet defender. 23 seconds left in the period.
Throw it deep, guys.
Serge Roy for Duras. Duras couldn't come up with it.
Let's go, Feeler.
13 seconds left. Time for one quick shift. A very quick shift.
Well, there's no Kozheznikov. He's been around for a little while. He's age 27, gold medalist on the Olympic team. And he's got an awkward style of skating. His knees are a little knock-kneed, and he doesn't have those short, choppy strides like most Soviet players do.
Chance for the Soviets with 5 seconds remaining. But Felix out of that. Taking Koshevnikov out of the play. And that's period 1. Moscow Selects leading Team Canada 1-0.
Good start. Way to work, gang. That's a good start.
Dave King sounds happy with the period, but it wasn't as entertaining a period of hockey as we've been used to in this series.
No, pretty well the whole series, each period has been entertaining, but this one was kind of slow. Canada very attentive in their forechecking. Really didn't get anything going offensively. They weren't hitting like they normally hit in the other games either. Maybe they have to start hitting and getting themselves into the game a little more.
Well, there were not very many Team Canada shots in the period. The Soviets out shooting Team Canada 10-3. And the Soviets having the best of the scoring opportunities. 5 good scoring chances compared to 1 for Canada. On the scoreboard, it reads Team Canada 0, the Moscow Selects 1. And that's the story of period 1. We'll be right back.
After 20 minutes of play at the Montreal Forum, the Moscow Selects lead Team Canada by a score of 1-0. Sergei Nemchinov scoring early in the first period. The Soviets out shooting Canada 9-3 in that first 20 minutes of play.
No way, I don't play. Yesterday we were.
Dave King is saying the problem is hunger down there.
Come on, we're hungry now. Let's go. Let's get hungry now, guys. Come on, now get hungry out there. Let's go. What do you say? Come on now, guys. That's a big difference, Dooley. We're not hungry, eh? We got to be hungry, eh? Dooley's line. Dooley's line's going.
Second period is underway. Yakin for the Soviets. Good pass ahead for Boldin. The shot. Raymond.
We got to be hungry, guys. Come
under his right arm.
Well, that's one thing the Soviets can do. They can wrist the puck. They don't slap it too often. There, the fella's coming off his off wing, and he just takes a quick wrist shot. Raymond's there to get a hold of it.
Face-off in the Canadian zone to the left of Alain Raymond. And from the face-off, that's Chris Felix. Felix ahead to Miller on the right side. Miller has a man open on the left wing. It's McLaren. McLaren gets it to the Soviet line. And in for Ronning. Ronning couldn't come up with it. Tisnich had to make the save. He steered to the side. This is Miller once more. Number 7. McLaren fired it just high. Roy. In for Ronning. Ronning working along the boards. He's against the Soviet captain, Kanarikin. Soviets break out once more.
Man with speed, Sergio.
Felix over to cover. Shot, Boldin. Saved by Raymond.
There's Chris Felix. He's a good rushing defenseman. Sometimes to get your offense going, you need that extra defenseman coming up with you. This guy Felix, he can do that. Played his junior hockey in Sault Ste. Marie. He was the most valuable player in Game 1 of this series.
Face off to the right of Raymond this time. That's Newell Brown at center for Team Canada with Duras and Greenlaw as the wingers. Soviets control in the Canadian zone. Zubkov backhands it into the corner. Brown working along the boards. Now it comes for Duras. Zubkov chased by Greenlaw. And the Soviets move it out quickly once more. Now Greenlaw comes up with a loose puck left behind by the Soviet offense. Samilier back to Zubkov. Zubkov takes the shot right off Greenlaw, and it's high into the spectators.
Well, Jeff Greenlaw's starting to hit it again out there, and every game he's been kind of the instigator for Team Canada, throwing his body around. He's big, 210 pounds, and he loves that part of the game, and maybe he's out there to get his team going a little bit, getting a few good stiff checks in there.
Played Junior B with St. Catharines last year, Jeff Greenlaw, and this is his draft year. Just about everyone you talk to, the scouts and everyone, say he'll be a first-rounder. In Hamilton the other night, there were 4 or 5 scouts up just watching Greenlaw.
High in the first round, maybe even the top 3 or 4.
Soviets try to tuck one in and do. They score quickly as Kareen snuck around behind, and Raymond didn't see him coming. It is 2-0 for the Moscow Selects now.
Here's the shot in. Now watch the Soviet in behind the net. He's surrounded his backhand, catches Raymond sleeping a little bit, throws it in off his skate. Here's the high-angle camera of it. Caught us snapping a little bit there.
You said goaltending would be all important. I'm not so sure that Mr. Raymond has provided what Team Canada needs. He has been just a little bit shaky, maybe a little nervous. This is Chris Felix for the Canadians. Ahead for Joseph. Now Herkus has a man open. Greenlaw couldn't get it to him. Greenlaw was offside at the Soviet line.
Well, there's Tony Herkus. He's from Orillia, Ontario, and Tony belongs to the St. Louis Blues. And he's going to have a shot in the NHL someday, I'm sure.
Pretty good history for Team Canada Olympians making it to the National Hockey League. From Dave King's last effort in Sarajevo, 16 players have made it to the National Hockey League. And one coach, Jean Ferrand of the Canadians.
That's it. That's better.
Baryanov for the Soviets. Taken off the play by Karpin. Sturjuk. Along the boards, now Proft comes up with it for Canada. Proft gets it out for Duras. Duras turns at his own line. Off the leg, and this is Carrier for Canada.
Jump on him, guys. Run him in, Peter. Knock him off the side.
This is Perry Proft trying to work to the backhand out in front. Tisnich made the save, didn't have to do much with it. And the Soviets control quickly and easily, leading the attack this time. Sturjuk Skurjuk has a man open on the left side. Varianov takes the shot. Raymond makes the save. And Yanni has the rebound for Canada. For Cavallini.
Soviets starting those circle plays now where they're controlling the puck in the mid zone and they get their wingers circling from behind, trying to gain the line with speed.
This is Koshevnikov along the boards for the Soviets. Kept in at the, not quite kept in at the line by Yanni. Thought he had it, but couldn't keep it in. 2-0 Moscow Selects, leading Team Canada. Second period action. 16 minutes, 56 seconds to play in the period.
Well, there's Trent Yanni. He was telling me the other day when he was a kid playing road hockey, he used to pretend he was me, so it's giving away my age a little bit. He's 6'2", 190 pounds, and he's majoring.
He was a kid playing road hockey then. He was bigger than you, right?
Probably.
Tony, sorry, no. Newly's line.
Vasiliev played it back. This is Antipov. Ahead for Vasiliev once more to the Canadian line. The shot deflected off the stick and high amongst the spectators at the Forum in Montreal. It is 2-0. The Moscow Selects, leading Team Canada. This is Game 5-4 of the 85 series. Face off in the Canadian zone. That's Ronning against Antipov. Ronning couldn't get the draw that time. It goes for Clark behind the Canadian goal. Being checked by Vasiliev. Vasiliev, number 23, got it to the side of the Canadian net, but Team Canada starts out. Led by Ronning. Ronning dumps it into the corner. After it, Miller, number 7. And McLaren coming up with it for Team Canada. In behind the net for Miller. Miller working himself out in front. And just missed and had McLaren standing at the side of the net. Good shot by Chris Felix. Ronning along the boards. In there with Miller as well. Soviets, Vasiliev. Vasiliev working around Clark, worked right to the side of the Canadian goal and fed it out front on the rebound. This is McLaren. McLaren for Canada. Out in front for Ronning. Ronning scores! 2-1. That's what we've been missing.
Well, that was a pretty play. And this line, very good offensively. Look at the play by McLaren here. He goes around the defenseman, heads up, he takes a look, he threads the needle here, right out to Ronning, who's all alone. And he doesn't hurry himself. He's got a lot of poise around that net. He takes his time, puts it on his forehand, shoots it into the lower corner of the net. A good play by McLaren, and a smart play by little Cliff Ronning here. Gets Team Canada back into the hockey game.
Third goal of the series for Cliff Ronning. He now has 7 points, 3 goals, and 4 assists. Soviets across their own line. That's Boldy, number 14. Back now for Stepa. Stepa takes a return pass and can't quite catch up to it. Well covered by Benning. Now Raymond caught out of his net. But he's back in time. Newell Brown in for Yanni. Trent Yanni. This is Brown. He's the captain of Team Canada 85. Out across the line. Duras got it there. Soviets quick to move to the attack once more. Here's a man going in. Priyakin. Nice defensive play by Trent Yanni. Priyakin has it once more. Out in front. This is Zubkov. Zubkov dumped it in. Here's Greenlaw. 3-on-2 for Canada. Brown taken out of the play. Duras couldn't catch up. Yanni for Canada regrouping. Got it across the line, but Priyakin takes it right back in for the Soviets. Perkins can't get it out across the line. This is Priyakin once more. Nemchinov into the corner. He lost it. Benning for Canada. Missed with that pass. It goes all the way down. And icing will be called against Team Canada as it was touched by Sergei Babanov. 14 minutes, 6 seconds to play in the second period. This is Game 4 of the Team Canada Select Series of 85. Final prep for Team Canada before the Espestia tournament coming up next week in Moscow. Perkins having problems along the boards. Now it's into the Soviet zone, not deep enough. Carrier makes a good play at the defense. This is Joseph. Fabian Joseph stopped at the line. Carrier plays it back for Serge Roy. And Perkins has to take it all the way back behind his own goal. Being shadowed in there by Nemchinov. Now for the Soviets, Sameliev. Hitting just a little bit heavier now at this stage of the second period. Popikin for the Soviets. Long shot, handled easily by Raymond. Setting it up for Jerome Carrier. Into the center for Proft. This is Proft trying to get through the defense. Got it over for Joseph. Joseph gets the shot and fired just wide. Moving in Felix to keep it in for Team Canada. Perkins is down. Joseph moves in. And we'll have a face-off in the Soviet zone.
Dave King would like to see a little more offense out of this line of Herkus, Joseph, and Julian. He was counting on them scoring a few more goals in this series.
Brandon Clark, you going next.
Last game they had a couple good scoring chances. Tony had a breakaway, but really, they haven't done a whole lot.
Roning's line.
Face-off taken by the Soviets. This is Perudinov.
Keep on, go deep, hard.
Team Canada pressing, forcing it back in across the Soviet line. Cavallini tapped it in, but not deep enough. Good hit. Good hit by Von Karpen on Bozakov. Here's Felix for Team Canada. Ahead for Karpen on the right side. Goes too far. Bozakov back for it.
Running's line is up.
Felix against Perudinov. Perudinov got there first. But covering on the play for Team Canada, McLaren. To the open side for Duras. Miller couldn't get it across the line.
Get the puck in deep, deep.
Cavallini ahead for Miller. This is Ronning, offside called. Looks like a pretty good play developing for Team Canada. It is offside at the Soviet line.
We've seen a number of open ice checks in this series here. Look at this check by Karpen. He keeps his shoulder down, drills it right into the chest of Bozakov. Bozakov got up, shaking his head a little bit. Cleared the cobwebs out.
From the face-off just outside the Soviet line. Long pass ahead for Antipov. Antipov taken off the play by Yanni. He made a good defensive move. It looked like Antipov had lots of skating room. Ahead for Ronning.
Take away the ball.
Zubkov came up with it. Out in front, McLaren, a good opportunity.
Keep skating, Matt.
Antipov once more for the Soviets. 3-on-2. Dropped it for Vasiliev. Vasiliev the shot. Raymond the save. Zubkov keeping it in for the Soviets. Right to the side of the net. They score. And that was Karin, I believe, number 15.
Well, Raymond was a little frustrated there. I don't think he was quite ready for the play. He let up a little bit after the first shot.
You got to come back hard now. Can't lose it, man. Get a stick on it.
There it is again from beside the net through the legs.
Got to bounce back. Got to bounce back.
Went down a little too soon. You stand your ground and play your angle.
Quickly, it is 3-1 for the Moscow Selects, leading Team Canada. Greenlaw gets it ahead. Going after it, Duras. Got to the puck first, couldn't control it. Into the corner for the Soviets, Popikin. Team Canada down by 2 goals at 3-1. It's been a struggle this night at the Forum for Team Canada.
Well, there's little Newell Brown. I like him as a hockey player. He's a little workhorse, and he's done a great job killing penalties. He's the main thrust of the penalty killing team, and just works. And I guess that's why he's the captain of this hockey club.
Greenlaw for Canada into the corner, working against Popikin. the boards for another whistle.
Dave King's trying to change his lines a little quicker now, get a little flow going, a little tempo going.
They need a little tempo. You're right, Darrell.
Well, it's the third game in 4 nights too, and guys, you know, it's pretty good intensity the last 2 hockey games, and you want to make your line changes a little quicker because your body, it takes its toll on its body.
Team Canada was looking at the second game in as many nights as a potential advantage for them. They're more used to it than the Soviets are.
Well, the Soviets aren't any pushover in their conditioning. We've all learned that over the years.
Clark fired it. They scored. Clark fired right from the point. And Canada is back to within a goal as Carpin tapped in the rebound coming off the boards. Vaughn Carpin.
Well, good play here by the centerman winning the draw, but Carpin does his job by going to the net, keeps his stick on the ice. He's ready for the puck. Good break for Team Canada, that puck coming off the backboards. And that's one thing here at the Montreal Forum. They have quick boards. A lot of pucks come off those backboards, and there's Carpin ready to knock it in.
3-2 now. Team Canada right back in the hockey game. Babinov for the Soviets. Circling in his own zone. Zubkov now.
Wide man, Frosty.
Kept in by Canada at the line, at least momentarily. Now Perudinov starts out. Pass ahead for Skurjuk. Skurjuk to the line with Varianov out in front. Skurjuk dropped it for Perudinov. They score. Perudinov. And that one slipped right through the pads of Raymond.
Well, lots of goals coming now. It's the second puck to go through Raymond's legs. Again, the Soviets, they like shooting that puck on their forehand. Little drop pass here to Perudinov. And again, Raymond goes down before the shot is fired. He's dropping to his knees, anticipating the shot, and there it goes between his legs.
4-2 for the Soviets, leading Team Canada. 9 minutes, 59 seconds to play in the period. Deflected out in front. The shot from Yanni.
Oh, now, come on, play D, Kev.
This is McLaren working along the boards against Povikin. Finally comes loose to Cliff Ronning. Ronning at his own line. Open man on the right side. Couldn't find him. It was Mike Miller. Here's Ronning. Couldn't get it across the Soviet line. Now he does. Miller goes after it. Into the corner. Miller is ridden out.
Third man out. Third man out. Mike.
McLaren couldn't come up with it. Soviets led by Antipov once more. Vasiliev. Koshevnikov. Now into the corner for Antipov. Back to the line. Shot fired. Raymond was saved. This is Yanni. Ahead for Ronning. Didn't work. Antipov starts back for the Soviets.
Tony's line.
Koshevnikov going in, and Raymond stood his ground there.
Icing.
8 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the second period. Moscow selects leading Team Canada 4-2.
Well, the Soviets penetrating that Canadian blue line. Other games, Dave King had his defenseman trying to stand up on the blue line, forcing the Soviets to make their plays before they got to the blue line. But tonight, the Soviets seem to be attacking with...
For the homecoming of Willie DeWitt, he'll meet Scott Wheaton of the United States.
Clarkie. Trent.
Whistle down just at the Soviet line, so we'll have a face-off just across the Soviet blue line. For Team Canada, Herkus with Boulian.
Get her deep, guys. That's it. All right.
Cleared in by Herkus for the Canadians. Tiesnich. Now Felix pinching in. Felix trying to get it for Fabian Joseph. Herkus can't come up with it. And the Soviets with Pryakin are in control. circus. One man to beat. Got around a sprawled Soviet defenseman going in. Fired it. Had all kinds of net to work with. Maybe the angle was a little bit sharp, but Tisnich gave him a lot to shoot at.
Deep.
Serge Roy, the shot just wide. All the way down, and Felix chases it. Number 23 for Canada. Felix for Roy. Serge Roy, one bank off the boards. It goes too far for Boulian.
Then 6 on, 6 on. Change, change, change.
Soviets back to the Canadian line. The shot fired just wide by Nemchinov. Nemchinov has the first Soviet goal of the evening.
Fabian, drop and 6 on. Change, change, change.
Soviets back to the Canadian line. The shot fired just wide by Nemchinov. Nemchinov has the first Soviet goal of the evening. Right out in front. Apologies for our technical difficulties there. We were trying to illustrate Dave King yelling for too many men on the ice, and from the overhead camera we were trying to count them. Here come the Soviets once more. Well played by Doug Clark. Canada trying to break out of its own zone. Brown can't catch up with it. Babinov got it ahead, and it's cleared out by the Soviets. This is Clark. Fabian Joseph got it lost in his skates.
Cliff, your line. Cliff's line's going next.
Carpet working along the boards for Team Canada. Canadians now in control of the Soviet zone. Fired in behind the Soviet goal. Harry Proft, number 3. Carpet goes in to help out. Back to the line. Serge Roy winds up. Out in front, they score. Roy fired the shot, and I think it went off Joseph. I don't know who they'll give credit to the goal for, but it came from the point, and there was confusion out in front of the Soviet goal. It is 4-3.
It looked like it hit Joseph's skate. He was standing in front. Now here's an innocent play here. The puck goes back to the defenseman. All he wants to do is get it through onto the net. Hits Joseph's leg and into the net. And we're right back into this hockey game.
Joseph did make a move at it with his stick, so it might have gone off his stick.
Well, he was tied up by the defenseman a little bit there, too, but just happened to get a piece of the puck.
5 minutes and 58 seconds to play, period 2. The Selects of Moscow lead Team Canada 4-3. Another chance for Canada. Von Carpet across the line. As a man out in front in Perry Proft, and Proft skated right into the traffic. Cleared by the Soviets all the way down. Here's a chance for Skurjuk. Skurjuk going in. Big save by Alain Raymond. That was his biggest save of the hockey game. Felix into the central ice area. Brudna turns and crosses the Canadian line. Can't get deep. This is Mike Miller. Mike Miller for Team Canada. 3 goals the other night in Hamilton. Skurjuk across the line.
Brownie, your line. Brownie's line. Brownie's line.
Browning can't catch up with it. McLaren puts him offside. It is now 4-3 on a goal by Fabian Joseph. Team Canada behind by just 1.
On now.
Back live at the Forum in Montreal, I'm John Wells along with Darryl Sittler and Jim Van Horn. 4-3, Moscow Selects leading Team Canada into the final 5 minutes now of the second period. Team Canada has come to life with 3 goals in the period.
Not 3 deep.
And the Soviets keep coming as always. Antipov has a play go astray at the Canadian line. Here comes Ronning for Canada. Ronning with McLaren out in front. Here's Miller for Canada. Ronning is out in front. Miller works himself in. Tisnich the save.
Change him up.
And Tisnich holding on. He's in Melbourne this past week.
Tony, your line. Tony's line.
Neil Brown for Team Canada at center with Duras and Greenlaw as his wingers. Carrier and Felix are the point men with a face-off in the Soviet zone.
Tony's line.
Back for Felix, and he missed that shot. It trickled wide of the target. Keeping it in for Canada. Duras, good chance for Brown. The shot, the save by Tisnich.
Wide man! Wide man!
Peryakin for the Soviets, number 11.
Too many rink wide passes. Now third man. Come over to puck side.
Peryakin behind the Soviet goal, picked up by Babinov. It hops over Felix's stick, and Carrier is back to make a play. He flipped it up over into the Team Canada bench. Moscow selects, leading Team Canada with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second period. It has livened up a little bit here, Darryl, which is nice to see, encouraging.
Some more scoring chances, good scoring chances for Team Canada, not so much play in their own end zone.
Get a man, Greeny! Get a man, Greeny!
Soviets on the attack. Peryakin trying to work his backhand against Carrier. Peryakin got it in for Vasilov. Vasilov, number 13, has been used sparingly by the Moscow selects. This is Boldin out in front. Peryakin jumped forward, couldn't come down with the puck, and Duras has it poked away from him by Babinov. Right back to Soviets. Peryakin working around, and
he's having a lot of trouble, eh?
Alain Raymond is having a little bit of trouble. Dave King has now admitted it.
Well, the Soviets have been using that play all night long where they're coming behind the net and they're trying to stuff it between Raymond's legs, and it's been working for them.
He was lucky that time. This is Peryakin coming again out in front, and the Soviets didn't have anyone deep enough. Kept in at the line by Popkin. Over to the other side now. Samiliev feeds it into the corner. Out in front. Saved by Raymond that time. Back to the point. Popkin. Samiliev the shot, and Raymond was down once more. Back to the line. Soviets keep it in. Out in front, Samiliev couldn't get a shot. He was alone in front, at least momentarily. Now the Canadians have regrouped defensively and get it cleared in. Here's a chance. Boulian goes to the backhand, and Tisnich is down to make the save. And on the rebound on Herkus as well. Herkus tried to center it out in front, and there were chances at both ends. But a little problem for Canadian goaltender Alain Raymond that could have been more costly. However, it is still 4-2.
Chances for Team Canada there. Tony Herkus is having some tough luck around that net. He's had some good scoring opportunities in each hockey game, but he just can't seem to put it away. Tisnich made 2 good saves on that play.
Alexander Tisnich, 27 years of age. He plays for the Central Red Army team. He's a former national team member for the Soviet Union. He also was on the winning team at the World Juniors in '78. Chance for Canada out in front. They score! McLaren had Tisnich down. Tisnich is upset. I guess he didn't get much help out in front, but McLaren has tied it out for Canada.
Well, very crafty play by the centerman Ronning here. Watch him just put the puck in between the legs, takes a quick wrist shot. McLaren going for the net. The empty net just fires it home.
Soviet defense let down on that one, Darryl. Watch.
Just sticks it in there. Yeah, the Soviet defenseman did not take their man. You got Miller going to the net. You got McLaren coming in behind on his forehand and just wings it home.
4-4. Canada back to even as Ronning crosses the line. Couldn't get it in deep enough. And Clark tips it back inside the Soviet zone once more. This is Adipov, number 10 for the Soviets. Croft has it go by him, and Clark skates back into the Canadian zone. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left to play. Second period. Team Canada back to even. It has been a battle, Team Canada against the Moscow Selects, to stay even in this hockey game as the Soviets led 1-0 after 1 and scored a couple of quick goals to lead 3-1 at one stage of the second period. McLaren bats it over to the right wing. Miller couldn't come up with it.
Newell's line is gone. Newell's line.
And Newell Brown moves to center ice for Canada, number 16. This is Serge Roy. Soviets are offside at the Canadian line. 4-4, so it's been a comeback for Team Canada. At one stage it was
Team Canada coming back with
3-1.
4 goals in this period. And, they haven't had a lot of good scoring chances, but the puck's been going in. It seems to be having eyes for them tonight, finding the net, finding the opening.
Disney has made a couple of big saves, but he hasn't been really tested on much more than the shots that have gone in.
You're right there.
Mac, you're up next, Mac. Hang on, Mac's to the right side. Babes at center ice.
1:37 to go in the second period. Even at 4, Team Canada. Moscow selects Game 4 of this 85 International Hockey Series. As Team Canada gets ready for the 88 Olympic Games in Calgary.
Always go to deep now, eh, guys? In trouble using
Zubkov, 17 for the Soviets, controls in his own zone. Head on the left wing. And Boldine trying to break in. A penalty coming out. Boldine was upended at the Canadian line. He had some pretty good speed behind him. Is that a hook, Darryl?
Well, I think so, but then when you get hooked like this, too, you do get light feet. I know a little bit of a spin and a dive, a swanner, but, you know, a smart player does that sort of thing because he knows the ref has his back's to the ref's play, or the ref's back is to his. What am I trying to say here?
He's trying to say the referee had his back to the play and turned around just as Boldine was pirouetting through the air.
So you let your feet go free, and you do get a penalty and a power play.
Pull off the old taller Cranston.
It's easy for me to say, isn't it?
Faceoff will be in the Canadian zone. Soviets have the power play. And it hasn't been all that effective for the Moscow Selects. They are 1 for 9 in power play efficiency in the series so far. So Team Canada's work against the power play has been very effective. Priakin across the line, gets it back to the point. Babinov. Priakin once more. Boldine can't come up with it. And it's cleared down by Harry Proft.
Newly, next man, next forward. Good job. Get him in, keep him in.
1 minute 31 seconds left in the Soviet manpower advantage. This is Boldine across the line. Roy breaks it up for Canada. Can't quite clear it out. And now he does. One bank off the boards, and it's back into the Soviet zone where Zubkov goes back for it.
Benny, next to you comes Benny. Benny.
Nemchinov leaving it for Babinov. 21 seconds left in the period. This is Babinov, number 4. Soviets have not had a respectable power play cooking in this series so far. Samiliev in for Kareen. Kareen around behind the Canadian goal. 7 seconds left as he gets it back for Zubkov. To Kareen. Zubkov. Kareen once more. And that's the period. The Soviets never got a shot on goal in the power play. And they'll have a manpower advantage for 44 seconds into the third period.
Well, that's been one of the Team Canada's strengths is the penalty killing. And I know from practice the other day and talking to Dave King, he works on that part of the game a lot in practice, and he works on the power play. And both of those have been effective in this series.
It is 4-4 after 2 periods of play. 4 goals for Team Canada. In the second period, the Soviets scored 3 times. But it's even as we head to the second intermission. International hockey on TSN.
A better second period for Team Canada. They outscored the Moscow Selects 4-3. Cliff Ronning, Von Karpen, Fabian Joseph, and Don McLaren have given Team Canada a 4-all tie with the Soviets after 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal in that second period, 11 each. The Soviets have outshot Canada over 2 periods by a 20-14 total.
Canada will be shorthanded for the next 44 seconds on the penalty to Chris Felix. But that has not been the Canadian problem.
Well, that's been
playing shorthanded in this series.
Been one of their strong points of the series. It certainly has. They've killed off 8 or 9 penalties.
This is the captain for the Soviets, Karakin. Behind his goal for Vasiliev. Vasiliev tried to hit Boldine on the left wing. It didn't work. Team Canada dumping it down. Tizhnik out to play it to the corner for Karakin. This is Priakin. And Karakin once more for the Soviets. Vasiliev couldn't get around the defense. Priakin works out in front and cleared it right across in front of the Canadian goal. Vozikov pinches in to make the play. It's back to Vozikov again. Shot right on. The rebound is blocked as well. And Raymond made the initial save and covered up on the rebound somehow. Never did have control of the puck. 5 aside now as Felix gets to the Soviet line. Hit a stick as he tried to lay it off to the left winger. McLaren for Canada. Played it in, and Duras couldn't come up with it. Now McLaren, the whistle went, and the puck was still loose. Referee lost sight of the puck, and I guess he whistled it down.
Well, that puck was right out there in the open ice area. The fans a little upset over that call. The Soviet referee was a save at the other end of the rink by Alain Roman. Again, he's down in the first save, but he keeps his legs on the ice to smother that rebound.
Face off again in the Soviet zone. This is Canada's big line, running at center with Miller, number 7, who had it there momentarily.
I didn't tell you to come off the ice.
And McLaren.
Coach Feeler, I told him to get off the ice.
On the left wing. This is Felix. Felix for Miller. He couldn't come up with it. Neither could Ronning.
Tony, your line's going.
Samiliev for the Soviets to the Canadian line. Had Yanni turned around momentarily and picked up now by Kareen, number 15. This is Team Canada's Don McLaren for Miller. Mike Miller. Long shot by Miller. This is Ronning after it. He couldn't come up with it. Trent Yanni for Canada. Play just underway in the third period. It is even at 4. The Moscow Selects and Team Canada final game of a 4-game series. Mike Miller to the Soviet line for Ronning. Ronning gets set for the shot. And he pulled Tisnich well out of the net, but fired it wide. Clark ahead for McLaren. Canadians get it in across the Soviet line and go back for fresh troops. Zarayanov. This is Skurjuk, number 17 for the Soviets. And along the boards, working against Cavallini. Skurjuk worked through, got a shot, a weak one. Soviets winding up with a shot from the point, deflected out in front by Skurjuk. Kept in by the Soviets. For Rudnov, number 20. Number 9 for Canada, Herkus. And Cavallini working along the boards against Rudnov, number 20 for the Moscow Selects. Face-off will be in the Canadian zone with 17 minutes, 17 seconds to play in the third.
Well, Team Canada going to try to get a little offense going here now. They have to get a big period out of Raymond here. He's been a little shaky. Hopefully he can come up big this third period so Canada can go on to win this hockey game.
Bill Brown at center ice. He is the Team Canada captain. He has Carpin on his right wing, number 19. And Perry Proft on the left side. For Canada, Benning. Good pass for Von Carpin. Carpin going in, gets set for the shot. Fired it wide.
Got a wide man, Benning.
Benning.
Hard.
For Canada.
You can't pressure the puck. Take a man. Can't pressure the puck. Get a man. Get a man. Get a man. Log that neutral.
Proft. Taken into the boards heavily by the Soviets. This is Benning dumping it in for Canada. New troops for Team Canada. Perry Proft, number 3 out there. And the Soviet is injured.
That was a total accident there. Looks like he might get a 5-minute penalty, too, because the Soviet player is bleeding quite a bit.
16 minutes, 38 seconds to play. It is even at 4. The Moscow Selects and Team Canada.
Here's the penalty for Team Canada now. It's a 5-minute penalty. It looked like a little bit of an accident. The Soviet skated into the stick.
That's Antipov, number 10.
He was cut on the nose, and
this is a joke.
it certainly can change the outcome of this hockey game with a 5-minute power play for the Soviet. Although we were talking earlier about the penalty killing of Team Canada. Earlier in the series, game 2 in Hamilton, the third period, or I guess it was late in the second period, Team Canada, Miller received a 5-minute penalty. Canada was successful at killing it off, but just after the penalty was over, the Soviets had scored a couple goals, and Dave King's a little upset with that call.
5 minutes to Perry Proft, high sticking. And a Soviet player headed to the clinic is Anatoly Antipov.
Hang on.
Faceoff will be just outside the Soviet line. That's Newell Brown out there for Canada. Serge Roy takes the shot right on, and Tisnich made the save and set it up for Zubkov, number 7, for the Soviets. Pryakin. This is Pryakin. A return pass now to the Canadian line and across. Pryakin drops it back. The shot, Zubkov, is well wide of the target. He goes in after the rebound. Zubkov clears it around behind the Canadian goal. Back for Pryakin. Pryakin for Boldine. Boldine tried to kick it over to Pryakin. And a good play by Newell Brown as he slips it down the ice. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left in the penalty to Perry Prof. It is even at 4. Selects of Moscow and Team Canada. This is Skurdyuk. Brother Zubkov, number 7. Babinov turning. And Zubkov has it now. Zubkov for Kareen. Kareen to the Canadian line. Across. Dumps it in. Samiliev. 19 for the Soviets has it now. Back for Babinov. In for Samiliev. To the side of the net. Samiliev once more has an open man at the point. The save by Raymond on Zubkov. Soviets coming once more. Back to the line. Babinov keeps it in for the Moscow Selects. Still 3:42 left in their power play. The shot, and Raymond has been hot on a couple of saves so far. Kareen now coming around from behind the net. Gets it for Samiliev. Back to Babinov. Babinov winding up with a shot. Keeps it low. Out in front. The rebound, and Raymond has that too. And they hit the post. I think they hit both posts. A little bit of luck for Alain Raymond as the backhand careened off 2 posts. 3:18 left in the power play for the Soviets as they wind up, led by Varianov. Now Zubkov, number 7. Good forechecking by McLaren for Canada. This is Skurdyuk down the left side, working in, drops it back for Perudinov. He fired it just wide. Varianov for the Soviets feeds it into the corner. Back to the point, Zubkov out in front. Good save by Raymond on Varianov. And Raymond has come up hot when he is needed to in this hockey game at this stage of this 5-minute Soviet power play.
He certainly made some big saves right at the right time, and you can hear David King telling his players to possibly take a dive if there's a right opportunity, because a lot of times the referee will even things up a little bit there.
Halfway through the 5-minute manpower advantage for the Soviets. This is Perudinov at the Canadian line, dropping it back for Skurdyuk. Back once more, in for Skurdyuk. He couldn't control it. Into the corner. It is back to the point. Kryuchkov plays it to the other side.
Straight line skating.
Soviets have the formation they want. That is Popikin. And played over here for Kryuchkov. Cleared out by Team Canada. 4-4 with 13 minutes, 39 seconds to play. Third period. Perudinov goes for a loose puck. Right out in front. Perudinov had it set up perfectly for Varianov. And he couldn't make a play. We got a penalty coming up or a face-off in the Canadian zone. Just a glove to head, I suppose, is what he is saying.
Put the stick on you, take a dive.
I thought he possibly was going to call a penalty there. He was showing that the fellow closed his puck or his hand on the puck, but fortunately he didn't call it.
1 minute, 52 seconds left in the Soviet power play.
Go, Mac. Mac, let's go.
Interesting to listen to the comments of Dave King in crucial situations like this one.
He might take a timeout at any point now, too, to the penalty killer's out there he wants, you know.
Give some of his frontline troops a chance to rest up a little bit.
We got to pressure and sag quickly up top now, eh? Pressure and sag quickly, eh?
Back to the line. The Soviets can't keep it in and hopped across Vozikov's stick.
He showed the threat to shoot, but don't go too hard to that guy. And even though he shot yet, they're always feeding off, okay?
Koshevnikov over for Boldine. On the right side, this is Vozikov. Dropped it back for Pryakin. Number 11, Pryakin in behind the Canadian goal. And it's Kozhikov. Yanni for Canada. Joseph has a chance to rattle it off the boards. It's kept in at the line by Vozikov. Pryakin tried to tip it in. Koshevnikov, number 16 for the Moscow Selects. In for Pryakin. Pryakin still has it back to the line to Kanarakin. Over to the other side. And into the corner, Serge Roy has his man tied up. Koshevnikov plays it out in front. The Soviets have not really had any glorious scoring opportunities in the last couple of minutes of this power play. And a good save by Raymond leaves Canada with 54 seconds to kill off.
Well, Canada doing an excellent job in their own end zones. Even though the Soviets have possession of the puck, Canada's playing a box. They have the puck side They have the forward high attacking the defenseman, making him make a pass. While he's attacking, the other forward sags into the slot area to pick up any loose men in that area. And they're doing a terrific job at playing their positions, killing the penalty off when it's working.
4-4, the Moscow Selects and Team Canada. 12 minutes, 32 seconds to play in Game 4 of this 85 International Series. Face off in the Canadian zone. Nemchinov, number 8, against Newell Brown.
Don't lose that edge now. Don't lose that edge.
Carpin dumps it down.
Okay, your line's going, Cliff. Cliff line.
Soviets still on the power play with 41 seconds in the manpower advantage. Samiliev takes a hit at the Canadian line. Good move by Clark to get it out across and into neutral territory again. Soviets right back in, however. Babanov chases it into the corner. Felix took the shot. It banked dangerously out in front. Raymond seems to be more in the hockey game now. Alain Raymond is a little more alert down there.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes, is a few saves to get your confidence, get yourself into the game. And he's made those saves this period, and he does look a lot more alert than he has in the first 2 periods.
24 seconds left now in the Soviet power play. Nemchinov against Brown once more. Same circle to the right. Canadian goaltender Alain Raymond. Carpin along the boards working against Zubkov. Soviets keep it in. This is Babanov. Back for Babanov at the line. The shot, and Raymond got a leg on it. Good save by Raymond. One more chance for the Soviets. Zubkov keeps it in, and Canada will be back to full strength in 2 seconds. Babanov. Samiliev out in front. Cleared by Newell Brown. And Team Canada is back at full strength as Ronning skated after a loose puck. Tisnich came sliding well out of his net and simply landed on it. 11:30 to play. It is all even at the Montreal Forum. The Selects and Team Canada. Well, a big moment for Team Canada as they have just killed off a 5-minute Soviet power play on a high sticking call against Perry Proft. We watched this the other night in Hamilton. And Team Canada, again, Darryl Sittler, killed off a 5-minute penalty, but the Soviets came in and scored 2 quick goals right after it.
Well, anytime we play the Soviets, we've always been concerned about taking penalties against them, but Team Canada has done a super job at killing them.
Good chance for the Soviets out in front. Baryanov just nearly missed, deflecting it into the Canadian goal behind Raymond. And now Team Canada moves to the attack. Ronning couldn't quite get the pass. Kryuchkov, number 9. Here's Ronning once more again. Has difficulty controlling it. Got it across the Soviet line, but just. Yanni for Team Canada. Plays it to the other point. That's Benning. Benning ahead for McLaren. McLaren tried to headman it for Ronning. And it goes all the way down. Icing will be called against Team Canada with 10:37 to play in the 3rd period. Even at 4. And there's the Soviet coach, Igor Dmitriev.
Well, they're heading back home tomorrow. Their flight leaves at 4:30, and they're back to the Soviet Union. A few of these players will be back during the Christmas holidays to play against the National Hockey League teams.
Harry! Defense, Frosty!
For Canada, here's Herkus across the line. Has a man open. Boulian goes to the back end, and he was just wide. Got it out in front again. It was gloved away by Pryakin.
Deep in those quiet zones now. Work it deep. Get a man! Get a man, fade!
Soviets.
Fade, wide man!
Kushevnikov, 16.
Yeah, kicker jump on the wide man.
Jerome Carrier has some problems over there on the boards for Canada, but it comes down to Herkus once more. Boulian dropping for Herkus. Herkus takes the shot. He's wide.
3 deep, not 3 deep.
Boulian along the boards for Herkus. Herkus trying to hit it back for Boulian, and the Soviets break away. This is Boldin, 14, drop pass for Pryakin. Pryakin tried to slip it through for Koshevnikov.
Gotta hurry in this change. Jump, Jeff. Play it up.
Soviets to the Canadian line, but not across. Now Pryakin gets it in. Pryakin around Greenlaw. Cleared it out in front. Good chance for the Soviets. Back to the point. Babanov. That one deflected high as Raymond just saw it at the last second. for Canada. Head for Greenlaw across 2 lines. 9:03 left. Third period. Even at 4. And already paying some rewards as we watch Team Canada 85 in the first year of a 3-year plan to get ready for Calgary. In 1988, they provided some outstanding hockey moments in a 4-game series against the Moscow Selects.
Well, the exposure's been great, too, for these young guys, and I'm sure it's an attraction for any other players thinking about coming to the Olympic program.
Out in front, Duras had a chance. Couldn't get a good shot away. Soviets start right back. Karin has Samiliev cruising out in front. Samiliev couldn't get to it. It's back to the line for Babinov. Babinov takes the shot. And underneath that pile of players is Alain Raymond and the puck.
Well, Alain really come alive this period. He's making the saves at the proper time. Here's the replay on that shot. Soviet defenseman in deep. He just throws it towards the net. Again, Raymond, he goes down almost before the shot gets to him. He smothers the puck.
Shots in this period, the Soviets have 12, Team Canada 2. First 5 minutes of that on the Soviet power play. Scoring chances for the Soviets 5, for Team Canada 2 good scoring opportunities.
Well, they have their big offensive line out here now with 8.5 minutes left, and usually when these guys are on the ice,
they score right off the faceoff. Varianov from the point, and that's the second time that the Soviets have managed to do that to make it 5-4 now.
There have been some key plays around the faceoffs tonight for both hockey clubs. Here we lose the draw. Look at the Soviet twisted right around there on his forehand. Just fires it through the legs of Raymond again.
Little traffic in front of Raymond on that particular one.
Well, the forward didn't really have a chance to get out. When you go out to that winger, you're supposed to go out with your stick on the ice, right in line with the puck, with the shot in the net.
Here's McLaren from Team Canada to the line and across. McLaren has trouble working on the backhand. Got it behind the net. Miller is there for Canada. And Pryakin for the Soviets. Pryakin comes out with it. And the Soviets now content to just slip it into the neutral zone at center ice. Here's Serge Roy for Canada. Roy. They're running for Miller, and Miller turned around quickly and hit the side of the net. Boldine, and he gets just across the Canadian line. Soviets regroup. This is Babinov. Babinov dumps it into the Canadian zone, and after it is Johnny. Von Karpen for Canada puts it across into the Soviet zone. Quickly it's back out. Here's Felix winding up, takes the long shot. Tisnich to save. Into the corner after it. Duras along with Karpen for Canada. Karpen comes out with it. Karpen trying to dump it into the corner for Duras. And Karpen, good work along the boards. Finally gets it back for Felix. Tisnich was going to make the save. It was blocked by the defense. Zubkov, number 7, made the play. This is Babinov for the Soviets with 6 minutes, 54 seconds left. Dumped in by the Moscow Selects. Samiliev, 19, gets away from the check along the boards. Aimed at him from Duras. Green keeps it in for the Soviets. This is Chris Felix for Canada.
Well, the Soviets now just sending one attacker in. The other 2 fellas are picking up the wings. Playing a defensive style to protect that 1-goal lead.
Zubkov dumps it into the corner for Rudinov. For the Soviets, he's pushed off the puck, and Fabian Joseph starts it up the ice for Canada. Falling Herkus put it into the central area, and the Soviets carry it right back in. Sturjuk, 17 against Felix behind the Canadian goal. Boulian dumps it out for Canada, and this is Varianov for the puck.
Johnny's line's going next. Johnny's line's going next.
Barutnov for the Soviets to the line and across. He has Varianov there. Varianov the shot. The save by Alain Raymond. 5-4, the Moscow Selects leading Team Canada. The Olympic Series continues on TSN. Time remaining. Less than 6 minutes, 5:49 of the third period, with the Soviets out in front of Team Canada 5-4. Face off in the Canadian zone. And it's put down to the neutralized area and into the Soviets territory. This is Clark carrying it in for Canada, 21. Back to the line. Joseph lines up with a shot, not wide by much. Priyakin, number 11, has Boldin at the neutral zone. Boldin across the line. Now the Soviets score. Priyakin is Raymond. Appeared to move too quickly on that one. Priyakin moved in, claiming a loose puck, and it is 6-4.
Well, a little sloppy play on the part of Team Canada in their own end zone here. Here we have the puck. We just overskated a little bit. Soviet comes in and shoots it right on the ice. It's a nice little look.
Looked like Raymond didn't know where he was in relation to the net.
Well, I think it caught him a little flat-footed. He thought his player had possession of the puck, and Soviet didn't waste any time on looking to where he wanted to shoot that puck and putting it away.
So the Soviets have scored quickly twice in the third period and move out in front of Team Canada 6-4. This is Roy. Benning moves in, and it's kept in. Tisnich a little off balance as he made that save on the shot from Newell Brown. Brown clears it into the corner. Soviets, Samiliev with one more on the right side. That's Nemchinov. Samiliev takes the shot, the save by Raymond. This is Kareen. Kareen circling around in front, loose out in front, and Nemchinov couldn't get a shot away. Canadians in just a little bit of difficulty now, down by 2 goals with 4:33 to play.
Well, if they want to tie this series up or tie this game up, they're going to have to press a lot more, and that's very difficult to do on the Soviets. I know that the Soviet teams, they spend a lot of time on working on their defensive part of the game. You look back at the World Championships or the Olympics in the last few years, they certainly don't give up many goals, and when they get a lead like this late in the game, they're tough to come back on.
4:29 to play. Yanni for Canada behind his own goal.
Center ice. Dave left side. Dave right side. Clark left side.
This is Ronning across the line. He's shifty. He's quick. He leads the tournament in scoring. This is Ronning coming up with it again. Miller the shot. The rebound to McLaren. Back to Ronning. They score. That's Miller. And it is 6-5.
Well, that's their big lane again. These guys can put the puck away. Here Miller is getting a second crack at it. Soviets a little hesitant, getting a clearing pass, and there Miller is just shooting the puck into the empty net as the goaltender's down.
So we may have a finish yet, and we may have overtime yet.
Right out to Miller here, the goaltender's down, and he just puts it into the net.
It's Miller's 5th goal of this tournament.
Talking to Ronnie Smith the night before the game, he said Miller's one of those guys that he just loves scoring goals. If he scores in practice, he even gets a charge out of it in practice, gives it a little shuffle, but some guys have that knack and that desire to just score goals, and he's one of those fellas, and he's certainly done it in this series.
He's owned by the Hartford Whalers, chosen in the 6th round of 1984. The Whalers have been taking a very close look at him in recent times. They scouted him in Calgary. There's a reasonable chance that Miller might be asked to join the Hartford Whalers of the National Hockey League very soon. 6-5, the Moscow Selects leading Team Canada into the final 3 minutes and 43 seconds of the third period. Von Karpin is cut offside at the Soviet line, and the faceoff will be just outside there. Karpin dumps it in for the Canadians. Tiznik out of his net to set it up. 6-5 the score. Shot right on, but right wide by Joseph.
Hurry, Greeny, go for it, Greeny. Icing!
Dave King wants an icing and gets it. It went all the way down, and so the faceoff is back in the Soviet zone at 3:17 left on the clock.
Well, an important faceoff here for Team Canada. Scoring chances have come from faceoffs tonight.
Keep it short. So you get 2 more innings. Keep it short now.
Team Canada captain Newell Brown on the face-off circle against Nemchinov.
Surgeon Feeler. Clip your line, get it deep now. Take the puck to the net. Don't pass up the chance to shoot. Keep behind man now.
Babinoff for the Soviets gets it to the line. Not out. Drop. Shoots. Oh, and it was just about tipped in. Out in front of the goal. Very, very close out front. Good low shot by Perry Propp from the point.
Pretty soon, gang. Come on.
Team Canada has been very effective at that throughout this series. The defenseman keeping that puck low. Forward going to the net, just tipping it over top of the net. Still lots of time here for a goal.
3:09 to play. It is 6-5 selects leading Team Canada.
Keep them short now. Don't go long. Keep them short for us. One fresh guy's late.
Take back one of the easy goals, Darryl Sittler, and you're playing for the win, not just the tie.
Well, isn't that the truth?
There's a chance right on Tishnik. Duras now to the point. Yanni gets the shot. Kept in by Yanni. This is Newell Brown out in front for Duras. He can't come up with it. Back to the line. Here's Perry Propp. Propp gets another opportunity. Moving right in. Takes the shot. Well blocked by a Soviet defender. And Nemchinov starts out for the Soviets. Has a man open. Coming in. Samilyaev played that one. And didn't miss by much. It sort of glanced off the goalpost. To the line. And across. This is Duras. 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Soviets flip it into the Canadian zone. This is Serge Roy. And icing called against the Moscow Selects.
Well, this will give Team Canada time to set up here a little bit. The strategy and what they want to do with only 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. They have their big line out there of Ronning, Miller, and McLaren. And most of the times when they've been on the ice during this series, there has been some offensive chances created. So
they make things happen out there.
It'd be nice if they could keep that line together for the Olympics from what we've seen of them in this series. And
they're the 3 leading scorers in the tournament as well coming into this game. Ronning at center with Miller on the right side and McLaren on the left wing. It is back for Felix. Felix waited momentarily, got it to the side of the net. Miller couldn't get to it. Skurjuk all the way down, and icing is waved off. This is Felix coming up with it. Now Serge Roy for Canada. Ahead for McLaren. McLaren got it to the line, not out. Serge Roy for Canada. Ahead for Miller on the right side. This is Miller in for Ronning. Ronning had 2 men to beat, couldn't get around him. Stepped in at the line. This is Roy moving in. The shot, Tisnich had the angle, played beautifully. Chris Felix with 1:36 to play. In the final period, Canada down by a goal to the Soviets. Felix backhands one wide. This is Miller trying to clear it out in front. Miller can't come up with it. Baryanov for the Soviets. Kept in at the line by Team Canada. Herkus is back there. The shot blocked by the defense. And the Soviets start back. This is for Shevnikov. For Yakin. For Shevnikov for the Soviets. Around, behind, and that's the old ball game. It's 7-5 with 1:04 to play.
Well, at the other end of the rink, Tishnik came up with some pretty big saves, some point-blank saves at the right time. But here again, that old play from behind the net that's been working for the Soviets most of tonight.
So Shevnikov.
Alain gets a little too deep into his own net, and they just come around and stuff it.
That's 2 that way, and that's, as you heard Dave King in the background saying, that hurts.
It does. They had another couple of close ones tonight, similar plays. But...
Puck's got to go deep, take away the board, direct everything to the net. Okay, to the net, lots of shots, jam for rebounds, okay? And again, guys, keep a third man high. The third man I put out for the goaltender here, the third man I put out, you stay out high so we can commit 2 guys to the puck. All the time, 2 guys can chase the puck. Well, if a high guy to block the middle defenseman, you play a little wide and take away the boards. So he can't clear on the boards. You might do it. Never know, hey guys, come on.
Hey, think about Finland.
Get the draw, though, Tony, get the draw.
Team Canada timeout is over. And the hockey game is just about over as well. It is 1 minute, 4 seconds to play. 7-5 Moscow selects leading Team Canada. Game 4 of the series.
Sergio!
Soviets won the first 2. Canada won game 3. And the Soviets are about a minute away from winning the series 3-1.
Hurry, Fred!
Samiliev can't come up with it. Now Boulian tried to get it ahead for Herkus. Soviets keep it in the Canadian zone. This is Samiliev. He couldn't control. Prop. One bank off the boards to Joseph. Joseph ahead for Herkus. This is Joseph. Now Boulian tries to keep it in. Canadian team net is empty. Joseph kept it in at the line. The Soviets have a chance to add one more. Long shot. It's in. It is 8-5. And the empty net goal gives the Soviets a 3-goal advantage now.
Call the hook! Call the hook!
Well, Crane, he gets the puck inside the blue line here, and he just carries it over.
Next year. All right, let's go back and go in. Good job. No worries.
Here it is, over the blue line. He actually shoots before he gets to the red line, taking a little bit of a chance there, but he didn't miss. Dead center of the net.
Down to the final 23 seconds now. Koshevnikov had the last Soviet goal.
Well, Canada complaining a little bit. They thought there should have been a penalty on Serge Roy inside the blue line.
Typical. Wait till the Canada Cup. Deep.
8-5. It has not been quite as good a hockey game as we witnessed in the first 3. Gerald?
No, it hasn't. There's been a lot of scrambling goals. Not the goaltending we had.
Lanning missing out on the pass from Miller. And that's the game. Team Canada losing 8-5. That's the final score at the Forum in Montreal. The Moscow Selects defeating Team Canada in games 1, 2, and 4. And the final in game 4 is 8-5 as Team Canada now heads over to the Izvestia tournament, which gets underway in just over a week in Moscow.
Well, I think Team Canada can be quite proud of their series here. Again, these series are to experiment with things, to give the guys this international experience, and they certainly gained a lot from it. A lot of these guys have never been on the ice with the Soviets before and done a lot better than I think Dave King even expected them to do. And we're going to see a lot of Team Canada in the next few years, that's for sure.
A reasonable part of the story told right there in Alexander Tisnich of the Soviet Union. He came up with some good saves late in the third period. I think Canadian goaltending let Team Canada down in this one tonight.
Well, we said at the start of the show that anytime you're going to beat the Soviets, you have to have the good goaltending because they have the good scorers. They have the offensive players that create a lot of scoring chances, and if you don't get the big saves at the right time, you're going to get behind the 8 ball, and that's what happened tonight.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, voici maintenant la présentation officielle des trophées remis aux joueurs les plus utiles de chacune de leurs équipes, de même qu'aux meilleurs joueurs défensifs de la partie. Pour présenter le premier trophée aux joueurs défensifs du match, trophée remis par la Banque continentale du Canada, on accueille au centre de la glace M. John Hardy, gérant général adjoint, gérant de succursale. Mr. John Hardy from the Continental Bank of Canada to present the Defensive Player Award. À l'équipe des Selects de Moscou, to the Moscow Select Team, le numéro 7, number 7, Vladimir Zubkov. And now the ESSO Most Valuable Player Awards. Et maintenant le trophée ESSO, qui sera remis aux joueurs des Selects de Moscou. Le plus utile à son équipe, le trophée lui sera remis par M. Dane Bailey, gérant de vente au détail pour les pétroles ESSO du Canada. Pour les Selects de Moscou, for the Moscow Select, the Most Valuable Player, le numéro 20, number 20, Mishkat Pakrutinov. Maintenant, pour la présentation du trophée à l'équipe du Canada, au joueur le plus utile à son équipe, le trophée de la brasserie Labatt, qui lui sera remis par le président de la brasserie Labatt de l'Humilité, M. Pierre Desjardins. Le joueur le plus utile de l'équipe du Canada, the most valuable player for Team Canada, Don McLaren.
So the Team Canada Moscow Select Series ends with the Moscow Selects winning 3, Team Canada winning 1 game. And we talked a little bit about goaltending, but when you look at the shots on goal total, there has to be something to be said for 38 for the Soviet Union and 24 for Canada as well.
Well, that's a lot of shots for any goaltender to face, especially Soviet shots, because we know how they can handle the puck and shoot the puck, and usually when they do get a shot, it's from close in. But
seemed to be, though, Darryl, a couple of careless moments in the Canadian goal.
Well, exactly. The goals from behind the net, you know, they're backbreakers, really. You feel that anytime a guy comes out from behind the net, that's the goalie's job to stop him, and the Soviets scored a couple like that. There were a couple other ones, weak shots between Raymond's legs, and he didn't really seem to get into the game a little bit until the start of the third period. He did a good job throughout that 5-minute penalty, but killing that off. But really, all in all, the goaltending wasn't up to par like it had been earlier in the series.
Again, the final score of the Moscow Selects 8 and Team Canada 5.